ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's Mock Draft Wednesday this go around. Yes, we're doing a Mock Draft Wednesday scenario, but before we get started, if you guys can hit the like button, that'd be greatly appreciated, as well as subscribing and hitting that notification bell as well. The reason I ask that every single go around is because over 78.8% of you guys watching are not subscribed. So if you fall into that percentile, why don't you stick around for more content and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified when more content does come out. So sticking with the theme of what we did on Monday, we're strictly going over draft day scenarios that could take place for the Dallas Cowboys. So in this Wednesday iteration, we're going to do the same thing. The first 3 picks for the Cowboys will be possibilities that they can do in this certain order, and you just tell me down below what you think, or should the Cowboys go a different route? Just let me know down below, and with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this one.
With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select
Will McDonald IV, edge rusher, Iowa State. So the Dallas Cowboys, and specifically Dan Quinn, get their guy at pick 26, and there were plenty of Cowboys fans wondering why the hell did the Dallas Cowboys select Will McDonald, or even an edge rusher at that, at 26? Well, it's pretty simple. If you've been following this channel, or if you've been looking on Twitter and listening into certain conversations, you would know the Dallas Cowboys absolutely love Will McDonald, number one, but number two, they want to have a succession plan in place for DeMarcus Lawrence. DeMarcus Lawrence is getting older, and of course, injuries are starting to become a reoccurring thing with him. And so the Cowboys want to make sure that they have something in place there if in the event that they have to move on. But, you know, they've touched his contract, so it's whatever there. But the other thing, too, is that Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong are on 1-year deals. Understandably, Armstrong had a 2-year deal, but this is the final year of his contract. So the Cowboys are going to be looking for a possible cheaper and higher ceiling option than those two, and Will McDonald could be that guy. He's a guy that has an elite first step that would fit quite nicely here in Dallas, and also he's not pressured to be an immediate impact guy, and I think he can be one, and I would love to see him and Sam Williams really develop into their own, but Will McDonald would definitely be the long-term DeMarcus Lawrence replacement if we're really being honest here. And if we're going to go off of Dan Quinn and his track record and how he's been helping these younger defensive prospects develop, him getting hands on a Will McDonald to really craft into his own alongside Sam Williams would be perfect. But others probably won't like the pick, but that's why the Cowboys would go with Will McDonald here at 26 if he's on the board. And I would actually be shocked at this point in time if he's on the board. I would not in the slightest be surprised if he goes before the Cowboys pick. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to pick 58.
the Dallas Cowboys select
Juice Scruggs, center, Penn State. Don't let the center position fool you. He is someone that has guard flexibility, something that the Cowboys really love. And if you are familiar with the Penn State program like myself, you would know that a colleague of Juice Scruggs went to the program and actually played for the Cowboys, who had a similar build and set of skills. Connor McGovern. And I look at Juice Scruggs the same way I looked at Connor McGovern coming out. He's a guy that can be an instant NFL starter at guard or center. I would personally prefer him to play guard, but I don't know how he's going to translate to the NFL level depending on the team he goes to and the personnel that are involved there with developing him. So you could make the argument at the center position as well, but I feel like he's more suited to play guard at the NFL level. Now look, the Cowboys do like Juice Scruggs, and they like the Penn State program, all things considered, and I would really like to see him in Dallas. Now, people would say that 58 would be a little bit too rich for the Cowboys' blood here by taking him at this spot, but it's very much a situation to where you have to make the decision of, do you take this guy here at 58, or you're not going to get him at 90 if you really like him. And I think by taking a guy like Juice Scruggs at 58, you got a guy that's going to be your left guard starting, and if you want to, like I talked about with Avila, he's not as good as Avila, but if you want to move him to center to replace Tyler Biadasz if you don't feel comfortable paying Tyler Biadasz, then you can go ahead and do that. But I would not be shocked in the slightest if Juice Scruggs is a Cowboy, whether that be the second round or the third round. In this particular draft, the guards go really quickly. So I look at this as a very good pick for the Cowboys. You get yourself your guard slash center of the future, and you just move forward with that. So with that, let's go ahead and move on to the final pick of this mock draft scenario and pick 90.
The Dallas Cowboys select
DeMarvin Overshown, linebacker, Texas. So the Cowboys elect to go with a linebacker at pick 90, and I don't blame them. You look at that linebacking core, and while the starters are solid and good, you really need some more help on the depth side of things. And let's look at it this way, right? You have Micah Parsons, the edge slash linebacker guy. That's cool and all. But what can you do to make sure that he can free roam and do whatever he needs to do? You can add another linebacker in there. You do have LVE. That's cool and all. You have Damone Clark. That's cool. We'll see where he's at. But after that, it's a bunch of question marks. We don't know who Jabril Cox really is. We don't know who Devin Harper is really. And a bunch of these other guys, it's all question marks. I think if the Cowboys were smart, you invest in another linebacker to have in that room that can do off-ball stuff. You look at what he did at Texas. He has shown he can be very good from sideline to sideline and tracking down some guys. But what really kind of bothers me with Overshown, and I think that this can be fixed, is how he attacks the run here and there. And sometimes he has a propensity to be inconsistent. But with what physical tools that he has, I think Dan Quinn would have a field day with him in developing him into one hell of a linebacker. And I think that if you're looking for a cheaper, off-the-ball, sideline-to-sideline linebacker, he's going to be your guy at pick 90. And the Cowboys like him, and I think that he would fit nicely at this spot depending on what's on the board. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our second mock draft scenario for this week. You'll get the final one on Friday, and then we're going to get back into some Cowboys news when I'm back from the vacation. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mock draft scenario. If you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and hit the notification bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.